For over 20 years as an advertising executive, I worked on some of the biggest properties in the world. Although my job took me to exotic cities in many countries, I became fascinated with life in our small towns. So I hung up my tie and I now travel the nation looking for the fantastic stories hidden within our communities. I'm Waldo Cabrera. Join me as I find America. The apple has played a significant role throughout the ages. A bite can keep the doctor away, it can put a beauty into eternal sleep, or it can expose the sins of humanity. In Lafayette, New York, I found Beak and Skiff Distillery, where the spirit of the apple has inspired a spirit, vodka to be more precise.
This is one of our latest ventures. It's a distillery where we make vodka from apples. We actually are in the tasting room right now. And the still you can see behind us is actually operating, and we're making a second distillation of our 3 distillation process, and so we're halfway to vodka.
In 1911, my great-grandfather and George Skiff decided to go into the apple business, and they planted the first trees pretty close to where we are right now. The U-Pick was the first venture into retail. After that, we did a farm market that's been a big boost to business, and this is just the latest in a series of good ideas.
So we went to a workshop at Michigan State University where they were teaching us how to make distilled spirits, and at that workshop there was a vodka there that had been made from apples in New Hampshire, and they did a blind tasting with other vodkas, and lo and behold, the one made from apples beat all the high-end vodkas that they had there, like Grey Goose and Stolichnaya, etc. So we said, let's make a product that looks like it's going to be really good, and so we did some research and did development on paper to see, how we might make it a little different than anybody else, and we've done that now, and we think we've got a good product.
We start by putting sweet cider into the fermentation tank, and we put 2,000 liters in each tank. Those 4,000 liters of sweet cider will end up being about 52 cases of vodka. And right now there's about 425 liters of low wines in this pot. It's coming up to a boil. I got to keep my eye on it, because when it happens pretty fast. After the second distillation, we're going to end up with about 90% alcohol in the tank. Vodka has to be 95% in the tank. Even when you cut it to 40%, you're going to get quite a bit of heat on the back of your throat and back of your mouth and on your tongue. The American palate is more for a smoother vodka than the European, and the Russians are for more of a little bit hotter vodka. The way you control that is through attenuation, and it's exposure to air, and the more you do that, the smoother it gets. The third glass up, when you see stuff boiling in there, that means the column's full. There's a tray in there that's filling up with alcohol, and once that gets full, it overflows to the next one down, and then the next one down, and it continues all the way down. And when I say the column is full, it's all the little trays in there are full, not the whole column is full. You can't do it by hydrometer and thermometer alone. You have to do it by taste and smell. Because it smells like vodka. Doesn't taste like vodka yet, but you got to remember, 95% is pretty intense. Well, actually, I'm just dipping it on the end of my fingers. I don't think I'm getting that much, but that earlier stuff isn't anything you want to drink too much of. I know that, but and pretty soon we're going to stop tasting, because we're getting pretty close now to going into the heart's realm.
People walk into the distillery and they're just a little bit awestruck by the beautiful copper still, and we wanted a lot of brightness and light, because the bottles look so beautiful when it's bright and well lit. We strove to make it really look just classy.
The orchard is around currently 350 acres of orchard, and we produce on the average about 150 to 200,000 bushels of apples a year. It takes a lot of apples to make vodka. We might use 10,000 bushels when we're in full production, and that's not that big a piece of the puzzle. And so it's apples that generally we would get just a few dollars for, and we can turn around and get maybe $50 a bushel as opposed to $3.
I think you just have to be open to any new ideas and try and have a lot of enthusiasm and try and find good people to work with you. I think we're blessed with some of the people that work here, and go with the flow.